Hello, and welcome to the Student Experience podcast, where we'll be chatting with members of the University of Suffolk community, giving them the opportunity to share their experience with us. I'm Sam, and I'm a member of the Student Experience team, and in today's episode, we're joined by Osama Okunbo, who is a postgraduate cybersecurity student. We discussed his course, his journey so far as a student, and his plans after graduation. So, Osama, thanks so much for joining us today. Would you like to firstly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Osama, and I am a student of the University of Suffolk. I'm on the Cybersecurity Master's course, and lovely to be here, Sam.
Brilliant. Great to have you on. So what first attracted you to join the University of Suffolk?
I've told a couple friends that I think it was fate because I stumbled upon the university website and I was like, yeah, this feels right. There's something about this university. But when I did my research, I found out that it was this small university. It was growing quite quickly. And I had the thought that as a smaller university, I would get more attention and there would be more student focus. And looking at the way the university has been growing in the past couple, 4 or 5 years, it means that they're definitely doing something right. Right. So I was thinking that this is the university I want to be in if they can grow that rapidly. And I was right because the University of Suffolk just won the University of the Year award. So yeah, they're doing an amazing job and it was a good decision coming here.
Great. Did you come to an open day or did you just research online?
I did a lot of research online, looked at the university, looked at the course especially, and looked at the Digitech Center. I think that was pretty much what sold me on it because watched like a YouTube video on Digitech Center and it was really amazing.
Yeah, that video is pretty good on Digitech Center. I mean, I know that we've had people on here past that go over there. It's really cool. It's a really cool site. So have you always wanted to study cybersecurity?
No, I'm not. First of all, I thought cybersecurity was a bit difficult, right? It's something that was quite complex and something that would stress me a lot because I had a background in software engineering. So I was just thinking of staying in software engineering. Then I thought about it and I was like, I mean, if you put your mind to anything, you can most likely do it. So why not just give it a try? And I was kind of getting bored in software engineering at a certain point, and cybersecurity looked like a field that was growing rapidly. So in terms of um taking on a new challenge in terms of career security because you know how it's crazy getting with AI and there's the whole AI is going to take your job. It's even software engineers like getting a bit concerned on how rapidly that is growing. But cybersecurity is a field that is going to be in constant need because even these AI models they need protection and there are cybersecurity risks that come from this using artificial intelligence. So yeah, felt it was a good career move and that was one of the reasons I chose cybersecurity.
So it'd be fair to say there was the right move at the right time.
Yeah, it was the right move at the right time. So sometimes you kind of get immersed in that and forget that you're supposed to have a life outside of uni. So at first I found it quite challenging, but through the help of friends and some self-therapizing, I was able to understand that you need to find a balance if not you're going to lose your mind. So eventually I've been able to find a more healthier balance, try as much as possible to enjoy myself and enjoy the process.
I think the better sort of time you're having outside of your studies means that your studies are going to be even better because you're in that right frame of mind.
Yeah, very true. And there are times that I've just been immersed in my studies and it got to a certain point, I think I burnt out. I did not want to touch my laptop. Right, when you go out and go to the pub, party a little bit, you come back and you find yourself wanting to do some work. And that's kind of like I don't think a lot of people know that.
Especially in this heat or it's really hot.
Yeah.
So I guess it probably varies quite a lot day to day, but what does a typical day look like for you at university?
So typical day, there is the perfect day. You wake up before your alarm goes off, make a smoothie, go to the gym, come back, go to the shower, then get dressed, feel good, go to catch the bus to Matusham, and then you're in class, get a cup of coffee, chat with people at Tech about different things. I really enjoy those conversations. Then go to class, learn, come back, hang out with your friends, back home and go to bed. Yeah.
You kind of one of these people that likes structure and routine?
Yes. Most times, I always say once if I wake up too late, my day is usually going to be stressful. right? Because I like waking up, having a good grasp of my day, like doing a little something before I even leave the house on my computer. Like wake up, listen to music and stuff. But when I wake up and I'm in a rush, I tend to forget stuff and I tend to get stressed about it.
I mean, I can really tell when it really comes across how much you enjoy your course. So have you got sort of a favourite part about studying?
Yeah, yeah. So my favorite part would probably be social engineering
Hmm.
because it's the bit that's not so technical. It's more on psychology and human interaction, which I find quite interesting. Done a little bit of psychology in my undergrad days, and it's quite interesting how you don't have to go to high technical lengths
Yeah.
to achieve things. You could just because they say the human beings are the weakest link in any in the security of any organization, and you realize how vulnerable just your staff or your employees are. And social engineering is still a budding field, but it's really, really interesting because it has to do with the human mind, the human thinking. Yeah.
I guess, well, I mean, certainly for me as well, when people think about cybersecurity, think of it of like screens and
Yeah.
data. And so is that kind of like a section of cybersecurity which, you're going to go for when you graduate, and like, maybe that's quite a good,
Yeah.
maybe unique selling point for yourself,
Yeah.
maybe.
So I like these screens and data because I'm quite technical.
Yeah.
Um, well, it's kind of like a conflict because I also like the human part or the psychology part. So looking into going into a technical role, but the thing is, I don't stay in a technical role for a very long time. So
Mm.
4 or 5 years, as you move up, you go into a less technical role because there are parts of cybersecurity that is just mostly you thinking or driving the direction, and social engineering is an important skill for that, right? So I would definitely like to start off in a technical role so I can learn a lot, I can understand more, and eventually as I progress, I don't want to write code more because it gets quite stressful at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah,
But I mean, to be fair, when you said earlier about AI, I guess the social engineering bit isn't
E-
something that AI can do
exactly,
necessarily. So,
exactly. Yeah,
you mentioned earlier about one of the reasons you came here was because it was a smaller university and you were going to get more attention. So, with that in mind, how have you found the support that you've had at the university?
yeah. If anything, the University of Suffolk is very
Mm.
supporting. So when I came in, the first day I came into uni, I missed my induction. I think I got the dates wrong or something. So I came down to the waterfront building and I was like, oh, I missed my induction. I saw a lecturer from the website. I've never met him before, Dr. Felix. And I like asked him, when is the induction? He was like, oh, you missed it. It was yesterday. And he was like, hold on for a minute. I have a bit of free time. He sat me and my friend down and he gave us a 45 minutes induction. I was like, this is like a senior,
Yeah.
a senior lecturer. He just took 45 minutes out of his time to like catch us up on the course, on everything we need to do and all that. I was like, that's really nice because I don't see, even in my undergrad days, I don't see a lot of
Yeah.
senior lecturers doing that. Right. And I was like, yeah, I think this is really, really nice. And it's one of my fondest experiences because it made me feel welcome because you have your anxious to meet your lecturers, to meet your peers, but it made me feel really welcome and it made me feel really valued. So yeah, the University of Suffolk has a lot of support that they give to students, and it's really amazing.
And what are some of the other support services you use? I think you've used some of the academic skills providers
Yeah,
before.
so enterprise and careers
Yeah.
is one of my favorite support mediums because I have had one-on-one sessions with them. I have done body swaps. We've had a LinkedIn session, a CV writing session, and all these are very important because you want to go into the job market. And
Mm.
they've also helped like curate a list of employers that you should probably look at applying to. So it's the library as well is also a great support if you're writing your essays and you need help having a look at that, or you need someone to have a look at that or guide you. The library services they do that, and then you also have your pack. That's like a lecturer that you talk to, and he can guide you in terms of academics, what to do, and you can just have one-on-one conversations if you're having any problems or if there's any questions you need answering. But the lecturers are readily available. I send mails sometimes on a Sunday afternoon, and I get replies in like 1 hour. So
That's really good.
yeah, so that's really nice. I wasn't expecting
No,
replies,
no.
but once they see it, even if they are not working, they still just send a reply.
I think one of the other differences with the University of Suffolk compared to other unis is we have the block and blend approach of studying. How have you found that?
Yeah, I found it quite good. I think school would have been much, much more stressful if it
Mm.
wasn't like in a block and blend system, because the fact that you tend to focus on a smaller set of module and then do your assessments for that module, then you move on to the next. It's quite helpful because it reduces pressure and anxiety having to try to grasp a lot. And it also, I think it also helps with understanding. So you're not just like trying to rush things, trying to cram this and cram that and trying to pass, but you're actually understanding the course, and then you can transfer some of the things you've learned onto the other course. And for the courses we did, there was this level of progression. So most of the things in the next two courses carried on from the previous course. So that was actually quite helpful. I think it's a very, very great system, and I feel it's most universities should adopt that
Yeah.
because it's really good for the students.
Yeah, we've got a conference coming up next week actually with loads of different universities that are going to be talking about the block and blend approach. It's something that the University of Suffolk are really taking a forward line on it, which is great. So when you're studying university, have you had any challenges that you faced that you've overcome?
Yeah, I would say in terms of challenges, I'll say at first I found it a bit difficult doing research because I haven't done that in a while. And I won't say it was exactly my strongest suit. So I did struggle a bit when I started working on my first essay. But I was able to speak with like get some assistance from like the lecturers. You usually have your last class, usually like a research class or your assessment class. Use the library services as well. And I've come to actually enjoy research, but I did find it quite daunting at first. I think that was my biggest challenge. And most times, these essays are usually like 50%, 70% of your grade. So I think that's one of the most stressful parts of being doing essays, right? Or I would still say it's one of the most rewarding parts because it's where you do the most learning. All right, you can come to class and yeah, sometimes you space out in class, but when you're working on your essay, it's you doing critical thinking, it's you problem solving and thinking of your approach and design. So it's where you do the most learning.
So you are, of course, you're a postgraduate student. So how have you found the difference going from an undergraduate degree to a postgraduate?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like um you notice that once you doing your postgrad, it's you treated like a colleague or more like a peer rather than a student teacher relationship. And it's quite nice. There is a lot more independence in terms of they are not going to teach you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to guide you as much as possible, but it's most postgrad courses are like 1 year or 2 years. You're not going to cover a lot in that 1 or 2 years. And postgraduate studies are more of holistic thinking and developing critical skills you're going to need for in your career or in leadership. I think undergrad is more of the hard and technical skills, so you do more hands-on stuff in undergrad, but in postgrad, you start doing a lot of ideation and a lot of critical thinking as well. So I really enjoy postgrad because it's quite mature. It's fast paced, but it's quite also fulfilling as well.
Yeah. So obviously, when you're studying, there's so much to do, and takes up a lot of your time. But I also know you've taken part in some opportunities at the university outside of your studies. Can you
Yeah.
chat a bit about that?
Yeah, so we did the winter hackathon. Me and a couple of friends who signed up for that. We came second place, and yeah, that was fun. 2 days of building problem solving. So you're given a problem, you have to build an app that solves that problem. Yeah, we built an amazing app, and as a reward for that, we got work experience, which I think has been really, really amazing because you get to work with a real software company, get hands-on experience. It's really fun. Yes, outside of all that, I think I've also been on food crawls that the SU has organized. I've also done like a yoga night as well that the SU organized as well. I think that was the first and last time I'm doing yoga. So I feel there are a lot of opportunities. Then there's also a couple of internships that have been put up that I've applied for as well. But the university does provide you with as much opportunities as they can. It's just a matter of you grasping it. And I completed a micro placement for about 6 months, which I worked as a data management and accessibility professional. And that's really close to cybersecurity. And yeah, I feel most times you put that on your CV and it looks really good because it's like good technical skills. You get to help out a lot. You get to learn things as well. It's basically like a mini job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those opportunities are also paid as well. I've also worked as a student ambassador. I've been working as a student ambassador since like after the first 2 months I came into uni. So there are quite a lot of opportunities, and most of these opportunities actually do pay you.
Mm.
And I feel you take advantage of them because it's a good way to earn some money as you study, but it's also a good way to develop certain either technical skills or soft skills as well. Yeah.
So, for those that are listening that perhaps don't know what a student ambassador role involves, could you chat a bit about what that involves?
Yeah, okay. So I'm a student ambassador, like the name implies, is you're basically representing the university, but on the finer details, you tend to help out in terms of events. If the university organizes events such as open days, you can act as a tour guide, give campus tours, give accommodation tours. You can sit in on taster days. So if there is a health taster day and you have students coming over, you help in terms of getting the students from point A to point B, organizing the event in some way. And you can also give talks and share your experiences as well, because your experiences do help the students make more informed decisions. So it also helps prospective students get like a student view of what studying here is like. And those are some of the things you do as student ambassador. There are also webinars, there are also a little bit of different things, but it's mostly you communicating with prospective students and you helping out the event staff as well.
I guess for you, it must be really good to pick up some new experiences, meeting new people, and maybe networking as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure that can be quite
Yeah,
good.
I've had very interesting conversations. We had a postgrad evening where we had some employees from BT who were thinking of studying here. So we had like very interesting conversations, like net talk basically. So it's quite really nice because most times you tend to form a connection with people. You tend to get new perspectives when you speak to people. And it's a role I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite roles at the university. So yeah, a student, if you can, when you come in, apply to be a student ambassador.
So we know obviously also you're not this isn't the first time you've been in this studio. You also were involved in a podcast and a video interview project for new students coming in. How did you find that?
Yeah, that was my first podcast experience, and I mean I'm here once again, so it means I had a good time and I enjoyed it. Right, it is quite good. I feel this step-by-step program is quite good because you as a new student, when you see the resources that you've been given, like reading about this or reading about that, doesn't really hit as much
Yeah.
as you watching videos or listening to people that have been through what you're going through.
Mm.
And I feel it's really going to help new students because one of the things I probably struggled with when I came in, understanding things like bright space or how certain things in university works. And yeah, so I feel it's a great initiative by the University of Suffolk, and students should take advantage of it once they come in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you're also pretty active on LinkedIn as well. I guess that's something that you would recommend to students to do.
Yeah. So I've been active on LinkedIn for a while, but kind of stopped. Then I started again because I
Yeah.
mean, you're searching for work. You have to be active on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I feel started on time, and the thing with LinkedIn is you sharing your little experiences or your little wins. You did this, put it out on LinkedIn because when employers come to your LinkedIn, they tend to form a profile of the kind of person you are from the things you're doing. So it doesn't have to be groundbreaking. You don't have to build a rocket and be like, oh, I built a rocket. Just something, even if it's something basic, just take pride in it and put it out there. And
Mm.
employers can actually reach out to you and be like, oh, I want this person on my team. And it might be for the most random of reasons. It doesn't even have to be because of the quality of the project or how you approach that project. So, yeah, share your university experiences on LinkedIn, and it's going to help you when you need a job or when you start looking for work.
Yeah, that's some really great advice. So we mentioned before we started recording that you're coming up to the end of your time and you're doing your dissertation at the moment. How have you found that?
I was fortunate enough to pick a topic I enjoy and have an interest in. It was still pretty much stressful. I was thinking I was going to breeze through it, but I haven't been breezing through anything. I actually have a meeting a little bit later with my supervisor. But like I said, if it's pick an area of study that you have a keen interest in, it's going to make it more worthwhile because it's not going to feel like an essay or an assignment. It's going to feel like, okay, this is something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm doing a research in this field because I actually want to know and I want to put out my findings. So I think that's what's keeping me going because it's something I like. So that's my advice for every prospective student in your dissertation. Look for an area that you have a keen interest in, and maybe an area that there is not so much work in, or you can offer a unique perspective into. Don't just do something basic and like I want to pass. Try and do something that you feel should have some form of benefit to the academic society, or the academic body. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my advice.
No, 100%. What is your topic about?
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
It's an experimental approach of zero trust architecture on multi-cloud environments. What it simply does is there is this principle called zero trust, which means never trust, always verify, is like a paranoid security model, right? And I'm trying to implement the architecture into multi-cloud deployments. When you have a deployment on AWS and Azure, for instance, there's kind of like a security gap, and most times it's being treated as one entity. But ZTA is telling to treat it as two separate entities and ensure that in case of like a compromise on AWS, you don't want there to be lateral movement of that compromise too.
So you can really pick up how much you're doing to try and make yourself as employable as possible when you
Yeah.
graduate very soon.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping to move into when you graduate?
Yes, I'm looking into moving to cloud security and DevSecOps, because that's where the money's at. But outside that, I feel I've always had like a one foot in cloud environments, and it's something I quite enjoy. So looking at how to secure cloud platforms is quite rewarding as well, and it also has a good career growth. It's not a field that is being threatened by AI, right? There's also a lot of space for innovation in the cloud. So yeah, I'm looking to move into cloud security, DevOps, and cloud and DevSecOps.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. So if you take a look back at when you started your postgraduate course in September, knowing what you know now, is there anything you would say to yourself as an advice?
Yeah, I would say calm down. I would say calm down, because I would say I overthought things, and the thing is, you can never be too prepared for uni.
Mm.
Uni is an experience. You just have to live and take it one day at a time. You can prepare as much as you can, but you can't control everything. I tried to control a lot of my university experience, and I failed. And I found it more enjoyable when I kind of let go and just um enjoy the experience. I just went through it and did my part. So I would say maybe calm down a little bit. Like, if you're probably anxious about leaving home or going away from home, just calm down. Everything's going to be all right. After a couple weeks or months, you're going to feel like right at home. You're going to make friends.
Yeah.
You're going to love it here. Yeah. So I'll say just take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay, and enjoy the university experience.
Talking about sort of friends, have you joined any societies or?
Yeah, I'm part of the African and Caribbean Society. But I also have I have a book club I'm part of. This is not a part of the university. A friend introduced me to a friend that got me added to that. And I think I also have like a friend group that we go for parties together. We planning a vacation very soon. Yeah, so these little extracurricular activities actually helps. The fact that you have people to talk to, you have people to share your experience with, some people that understand what you're going through
Mm.
or are facing something similar. So sometimes they're actually quite deep conversations we have, and
Yeah, but
they also help open opportunities to you. You understand? So this is one of the best things about uni, the fact that you get to network. And I think I saw it somewhere. University is 60% networking and 40% of your actual university experience. So I also take advantage of that.
absolutely. So sort of along a similar vein for students that are listening that might be joining us in September, what advice would you have for them to be as successful as they can be?
Um, yeah, I would say this is more of a personal thing, but I tend to plan. I tend to try to keep my calendar organized to some extent, right? I would say maybe find a routine that works for you. Would also say start thinking about what you want out of uni as early as possible. So you're not just going through the works, like you start thinking, oh, okay, maybe your career, a couple months after you join, you start thinking about, okay, how to best grow as a person. It's a lot of adult thinking, but I think it's quite important because you don't want to be doing that on the third year or towards the end of the course.
Yeah.
So I would say take advantage of as much of the university's resources as you can. I mean, take advantage of the careers and enterprise unit, take advantage of the student union, take advantage of the gym, take advantage of anything that the university can offer you that you feel can help you grow. Because most times you tend to just want to isolate yourself and then you're not actually in uni, you're just going through uni, right? So I would say also talk to people, right? And meet new people, entertain new ideas. The university is supposed to help you grow as a person and broaden your mind and horizon. So I would say just take it one step at a time, but just also put yourself out there.
Yeah. No, and also, to engage with students also outside your course as well can be really beneficial.
Yeah.
Um, so we've got a really nice campus here at Ipswich by the waterfront, and it's really lovely, especially when the sun's out. Have you got a favourite spot on campus that you like to visit and like to go to?
Yeah, I would say I like nature and I like anything surrounding nature. So I do really like the waterfront with the boats, and the actually is packed right up front. I like the James Air building, the fifth or the sixth floor. It has a really nice view overlooking the waterfront, and it has a very, very, very beautiful sunset. But it gets quite hot in the summer, but I think the view is quite nice because there are times me and a couple of friends will just go up there, sit down and talk, and it's quite nice because it's an amazing view. You tend to feel calm. Sometimes you could just go up there and also just absolute silence and think. But yeah, it's one of my favorite sports on campus.
Brilliant. How about Ipswich more widely? Have you got some favourite spots in Ipswich?
Yeah, for Ipswich itself, I don't think I have anyone in particular. I have favorite restaurants I visit. Probably Papa Panda's and Ipswich Chicken Way. Those are some of my favorite spots to eat. Then there's also totally forgotten the name, but it's I've had a couple picnics there. It's like a park, but I can't remember the name for the life of me. But it's I really had a lot of fun there because I've played football there. We've had picnics there as well. And lastly, Felixstowe. Been to Felixstowe. That's like 20 minutes
Yeah.
away from Ipswich, and it has a nice beach. It has a nice scenery as well. So yeah, those are some of my favorite places to visit in Suffolk in general.
Yeah, nice. It's great. There are some great spots in Suffolk.
Yeah.
Is there anything interesting about you that maybe people don't know that you have, like a hidden talent or anything like that?
Yeah, so I used to be a pro athlete. I did judo competitively for about 3, 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have a black belt in judo. I retired after I broke my arm. Um, that was basically my career path for a while, and I got paid for it as well.
No way. So were
Yeah,
you looking at like Olympics and stuff like that?
yeah,
At one point?
I did all African games. I was supposed to do the Commonwealth Games, but I had an injury, and I was forced into retirement.
That's really cool that you did that.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do in your spare time? I guess initially that had taken up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Have you found something new or that you do maybe?
Yeah, I do like to I like sports, so I play badminton because my undergrad course was sports science. So I did a lot of sports and I have knowledge of how to play a lot of sports. I swim, I play things like hockey, cricket. I know about 20 different sports. So just any sports that keeps you active, I actually do like to engage because it helps me reduce stress. And I also like to read a lot. I most recently I've been doing audiobooks quite frequently because of time.
Yeah.
But I read a lot of fantasy novels and I really do enjoy them. Things like Lord of the Rings and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a really big fan of audiobooks as well.
Yeah.
They're a really good way to when you haven't got the time as much to read the book. Audiobook can be a great way of doing that, and obviously similar with podcast as well. So have you got anything on your bucket list that you'd like to do?
Probably skydiving. It's something I don't think I'll probably do because I like heights, but I'm terrified of heights. But it's something I would like to try. Then there's also visit South Korea. I would like to do an Asian tour. I'm going to do in the next couple of years though. So South Korea, Thailand, Japan. I really find Asian culture quite interesting and fascinating. So probably want to do a year on the road in different Asian countries. Yeah, so that's the one that's looking more like I should do pretty soon.
Yeah, no, you got some really cool, exciting things that might be coming up. So if we look again at university as a whole, do you feel it's changed you as a person at all?
Yeah, I think completely because it's helped me build more confidence. I would say even if my confidence level was a 40 when I came in, it's like a 85 now. Right, so I would say it's helped me build more confidence. It's also um I've come to understand myself much more in uni. I've grown a lot in the past year. And I think I have a clearer idea of what I want to do with myself and my career in this space of uni because there are certain questions I was asking myself and I got most of those answers coming to uni. Brilliant. Been a really, really great chat with you today. That's all. I've certainly enjoyed it. I'm sure those that are listening have as well. So we've come to our final question now, which is our answer one, ask one question. So you're going to answer a question from previous guest, then I'm going to pose one to the next guest. So the question we got for you is, and you sort of touched on it a little bit earlier, is what are your favourite places to eat in Ipswich? Yeah, that would be definitely Papa Panda's and Ipswich Chicken Way. I haven't tried fish and chips yet, but yeah, that sounds. I always have a irritated reaction when I say I haven't tried fish and chips yet. You gotta try fish and chips, especially by Felixstowe. Oh, yes, but I have something on next Wednesday in work experience. We're going to a fish and chips place, and because people have different favorite fish and chips places, so we're going to a couple to just try it out. Um, yeah, so I think those are my favorite places to eat in Ipswich Chicken Way, because I think they have the best fried chicken, and then Papa Pandas because it's Asian food, and I really like Asian food as well. Yeah. No, I think you'll love fish and chips, and you'll probably you'll be like me. You'll probably have one every Friday night. Fish and chip takeaway. So, have you got a question in mind for the next guest? Yeah. So, my question is something you find completely fun about your course, or something that you really love about your course that is not exactly about just the academics, but something you really enjoy about your course, basically. Yeah, no, that's a really, really great question. It's great that when we do these questions, we get such a variety of questions. So thanks so much again, Osama, for joining us today. So until next time, goodbye from Osama. Thank you very much, Sam. I love being here. And it's goodbye from me. Yeah. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Student Experience podcast. If you would like to be a future guest, email studentexperienceteam@uos.ac.uk or follow the links to our application form through our Brightspace page. You can also reach out to us through our Instagram page @UOS_student experience.